What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And welcome to this week's Liquid Kernedge. Dude, you're in Vegas over the weekend.
Yeah, I was. I almost didn't survive, but I made it, baby.
You know, it's funny that you almost didn't survive because we heard your style of bachelor parties a few weeks ago, and I think anyone can survive your style of bachelor party. So I'm glad you survived. But before we get into that, we have our first guest of 2018 here with us today. And he is a new listener over the last couple weeks. I've known this man for probably close to 25 years now. That's how old we're getting. Jeez. I can say 25 years and actually mean it. And I was still a decently young age to remember that. It is my college roommate and friend for 25 years. Bruce Hudson is on the show. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I invited Bruce on the show this week because Bruce is actually living up in Old Sac right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the old Sac.
Oh, dude, I want to go see Old Sac.
and you know, the other week, and I don't know if you listened to the last couple weeks' shows, Bruce, because I know you're getting caught up on our catalog, because you just recently started listening. But Jason just spent 2 weeks in Old Sac, and we went on for a little while about the Old Sac jokes.
Yeah, it's a little sweaty in Old Sac.
Is it?
Well, yeah. Well, it was just funny because every time I said, "Well, what do you do here? What do you do?" and everyone kept saying, "Oh, you got to go see Old Sac," and I would always tell the joke, "Oh, I don't want to see Old Sac. I see it all the time." And they never got it. They never got the joke. Like, I think they were just like, "Well, what do you mean you've seen Old Sac?" I thought you said you had never seen it. It was just way over their heads.
Way over. I live for those jokes. I was so happy to tell everybody I was moving to the Sac.
Well, so did you move for work or did you move for like family? What did you do? What do you do there?
Yeah, I moved for work last summer. So
do you try to set up those Old Sac jokes?
As often as possible, yeah.
Oh, that's the attitude you have to have when you're living in Old Sac.
You embrace it. It's like living on a cul-de-sac. It's like my sister lives on a cul-de-sac, and I always, talk about, the best spot on the Sac.
It's true. You got to find the sweet spot in the Sac.
I was so busy with work, though, I didn't even get a chance to see Old Sac. My problem. So I might have to come back out there at some other time and just spend a weekend.
Oh, yeah. Next time you're out here, let me know. I'll definitely show you the Sac.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I want to see some Sacs.
He wants to see Mid-Sac, not Old Sac.
What about Mid-Sac?
Mid-Sac's all right, not Old Sac, though.
There's a lot of hipsters in Mid-Sac.
Oh,
okay, well. How about New Sac? Is New Sac any good?
New Sac will get you 20 if you're not careful, so you shouldn't go there.
So you've been friends with Scott for 25 years, huh?
That terrified me when he said that out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the scary thing to me is when I think of 25 years, I just turned 20, about ready to turn 21 25 years ago. So
yeah, we were 12.
God, I'm old, dude.
Yeah. That we were 12. It's funny because I actually invited our executive producer on the show tonight, and we were going to let him on. And I told Tom, I said, Tom, Bruce is going to be on the show tonight. You really need to be on this one and make your 2018 debut. And apparently, Tom has a standing thing on the nights we record now. So we have to adjust our schedule to our executive producer to get him on the show.
Well, if I can ever get off on Mondays, I'll do my best to do that. But right now, it is what it is.
But on the bright side with that, Tom also has extended his social media outreach as the executive producer. You can now find him on Twitter and Instagram, all liquid_EP. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Liquid Kernedge. Give us your thoughts. Give us your best Old Sac joke. And let's try a hashtag, I spent my time at the Old Sac, with any kind of joke you have.
I'd rather have the hashtag, let's go see Old Sac.
Let's go see Old Sac. Okay, that's the hashtag, let's go see Old Sac on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I almost said Facegram.
So Bruce, are you single? Are you married? What's your current marital status?
I am married for 10 years now.
Okay, so married 10 years. Okay, all right. Okay, hashtag let's see some Old Sac. I like that.
Oh man, I'm not sure the hashtag let's see some Old Sac is going to work out for us. We'll keep rolling with it.
Okay.
So Bruce, you talked about you're thinking about starting your own podcast, and you had questions, you had ideas. So why don't you run some of these ideas by us, and we'll give you our honest Liquid Kernedge opinions. And we are here to help because we do want to pay it forward. Our friends at Cartoon Casual, Joe Fellers, gave us a lot of tips when we were getting started last year. So if we could help you out and pay it forward, we could use the karma points.
Definitely. Always can use good karma points.
By the way, before we start this, I was told I was going to hell by one Christian lady over the weekend, and another one said I'm getting into heaven, but I'm getting in because I'm skipping by being almost a good person. That's a different topic for a different day, but
it's a good way to get in.
It's a good way to get in, as long as you get in.
Dude, how can you say that's a good way? Some Christian lady told you you're going to hell?
Listen, we all know that's a strong possibility anyway. All right, but we'll cover that later. All right. It just popped in my head. I wanted to get it out there before I forgot.
You can see that one of the big things about our show is random thoughts. They just kind of pop in, pop out. We really don't have a structure anymore. We just kind of enjoy the time and catch up on old times.
Yeah. Old times. Things that have happened over the last week. That's the way I like to think of it.
That too.
You guys should try taking Ritalin and then do the podcast and see, just contrast the differences.
Oh
gosh,
that'd be a very slow podcast. It'd be painful.
It would be focused though.
Would it be?
It would be really focused.
It'd be very Seinfeldian, like focused on nothing.
We wouldn't be able to have random thoughts come in our head. It'd be all focused. Like we're not talking.
That it's not how I work. I'd freak out. I'd flip.
So now,
I'd flip. I couldn't handle that. I'm already freaking out thinking about it.
Anyway. Bruce, are you talking about doing a podcast by yourself, or do you have a friend that you want to do one with?
Right now, I think it's by myself. I'm kind of trying to feel it out. But the concept is, I'm in building and construction. It's a big part of my life, and all these old guys are retiring, right? And construction's changed a lot over the last 20, 30 years. And all these old guys have these incredible stories about the shenanigans and the hijinks and the trouble that they used to cause and get into. And I think it would be great to capture those stories before those guys are all gone.
See, that's a cool retrospective type podcast, man. That'd be a good market to find, just something to listen to. It's one of those almost chronological type podcasts that people can get lost in for hours with the stories.
Well, I think it'd be good because you could also throw in how-to tricks to help people pick a contractor, or if you can give them a special trick on something that, might get people to also listen to the stories that are fun and the little tip of the day or something.
Yeah, Bruce, you can start turning tricks on podcasts.
What?
You can make some extra cash though if you turn some tricks.
Wow. I thought we already established that Bruce is married. Come on, man.
Hey, man, $20 is $20. She'll understand.
That's true. That's true. I like the idea, though. Would you have your guests come on to the show, tell the stories, tell good times, and recollect about the good old days that they used to have when the business was different?
That's the idea. It's just there's such an influx of young talent coming in right now. And it's so different. The profession has grown up, much like any other business these days, with lots of rules and regulations and HR department, and none of that existed before. So I think it would be it'd be enlightening for them to understand how it used to be. And I think it'd be really entertaining for those of us construction nerds out there who could laugh at, and relate to how it used to be.
And, now, Bruce has essentially grown up in the construction field, so his just knowledge base of the subject is immense as it is. Plus the people he's met, because his dad owns a construction company here in Mojave County, and his dad's always at the hijinks anyway. So I'd imagine that'd be an interview that would probably be a 4 or 5 part series just on what your dad does on a Monday morning when he gets bored.
Right.
Well, the good thing is then that this technology that we're using will be the perfect technology for you to start recording. And I can definitely help you with the editing. The editing part used to take me a long time, but there's tips and tricks that you can use to kind of get the podcast published on whatever market you want to do it through. We do it through Podbean and through iTunes app podcasts. You definitely will have the opportunity. And the good thing is you can call people just like we did tonight, and it's like not even a big deal.
Yeah. Easy. This is really impressive.
Yeah, it's nice. And once you hear the quality when we release the show, you're going to really want to start this podcast. And I think it's a great idea, man. We'll sit there and listen, help you out. We'll pop on the show and ask the dumb questions that maybe people don't think of on your level, because we're really lay people on that.
Yeah, that would be entertaining to say the least. Anything going, just to, I don't know, these, they all have stories about everything. So most of them, if once you start the conversation, they can just run with it. But yeah, anything we can do to coax them along.
Oh, that's what we specialize in. We are two guys that coax the hell out of people, whether they want it or not.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the transition from the old school to the new school would be an interesting look at life and how that business has changed as kind of an intro into the podcast. It would be interesting to hear some of the comparisons about from their perspective what's changed for them. And why it's changed, or that would be really interesting, actually.
And if you want, if you do decide to do this, we will offer the services of our executive producer Tom to grade your podcast, which he does every week faithfully for us, and he gives us notes, and you can find those notes on Twitter at @liquid_EP, and he's very brutally honest, and for some weird reason, it makes you want to be better at what you're doing just to prove him wrong.
That sounds exactly like Tom. Yeah, I was really hoping to be on here tonight. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, we can get up to 10 people on this, so maybe we'll be able to do one night is actually just have a roundtable discussion from all over the country, just on some random topic, and just make it a Liquid Kernedge special.
That'd be great.
So we'll kick that around. And Jason, I was thinking about this the other day when I was talking to Bruce about this last week. We talked about the Great American Liquid Kernedge road trip. And maybe we should fly up to Sacramento for a weekend and then take it and drive it back. We'll rent a car and just drive back to Vegas or Phoenix and just stop and see all the dumb sites between Sacramento, California, and Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, that would be fun. I would love that. We could hang out with Bruce for a weekend, come back.
Yeah.
Home. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we pour ourselves in a car and just come on back.
I like that. I could live with that. That'd be fun. What I saw of Sacramento was really fun, but I was up in Folsom, actually. That's where I was staying, so I really didn't even get anywhere close to the city at all.
Well, that's because you were in prison the entire time. Don't lie. I mean,
yeah. I felt like it. I felt like I was in prison. That's for sure.
So speaking of prison, though, and you're lucky you avoided it this weekend because you were in Vegas for that bachelor party.
Yeah, and hey, screw you, dude. My bachelor party was pretty fun, actually.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, tell us what you did because I have a follow-up story to what you're about to tell us.
Okay, well, the first thing is it was a bachelorette weekend. So the bride-to-be wanted to hang out with some of the guys that were part of the bachelor's party. So Friday night, they decided that it was going to be everyone, women, men, everybody was going to go. And what they decided to do was, those bikes that Josh and his dad make to...
Oh, yeah, the bar bikes.
The bar bike, yeah. So we did a bar bike, a pub crawl.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we started at the hotel that we were at, and we rode the bike and pedaled the bike to 4 or 5 different bars and just had a really good time. It was fun.
So at any point in time, did you gather all the men around and pour a glass of whiskey and light a cigar, and I'll say it's probably a Swisher Sweet, and start regaling the groom-to-be with stories of dating horror stories from the past from all of you like you wanted to do?
No, I didn't. So hold this so I can slap you across the face.
Oh, I consider that personal growth then, because I swear that's what you were going to do.
I had talked about doing that. But because by the time we even got out to go to Topgolf, I was pretty hammered.
That's about normal.
Yeah, but also, I digress. So we did the pub crawl, and that was actually a lot of fun. But I had to pace myself because I knew that Saturday was going to be the bachelor party, and that was going to be a lot longer. So, so Saturday the guys met up in we had a suite at the hotel that we were at, and we were playing cards. Because Adam's big thing is, I just want to chill. I just want to play cards, drink. So I bought a half gallon of Crown Royal and a 30-pack of beer, and we started playing cards. But I had bought a game that was really fun. We'll have to play it sometime. It's called Boozy Blocks.
Oh, that sounds great.
And it's basically a Jenga game, but it's got on each tile that you pull out, there's like an instruction of something you're supposed to do.
We have that game. We played that game.
Hold it. So you played a game at the bachelor party?
I played a game at the first part of the bachelor party. So the first part of the bachelor party was this game where he just wanted to drink and play cards, and so we did that for about 4 hours. And needless to say, I was pretty hammered by then. We took an Uber to Top Golf because he's a big golfer, and some of the guys were not golfers, but they
were drinkers.
They were
and there's
drinkers,
a bar there,
and I didn't want him to pay $100 to go golf. I'd rather him just pay $100 to have food and drinks.
But I want to go back to what Bruce was saying. So I'm picking up on what you're saying, Bruce. You played board games at a bachelor party.
No.
You played because we literally have that game. I've played it at your house because I brought that game to your house.
So what's it called?
Well, I'm not sure what mine's called, but it has different drinking instructions on the blocks of Jenga.
The point is, you have it, and it sounds like you've never really played it.
I think I have it. When Jason drinks, there's go big or go home with Jason.
So with my Jenga game, there was black blocks with white lettering on it. It looked a lot like Cards Against Humanity, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
So did yours look like that?
No, mine looked like a Jenga game that just had some.
To quote Tom, shut the fuck up. This
All right.
is my story.
All right, your story.
Jesus.
And that's your world. I'm just dancing in it. I'm just asking questions and saying.
You're
I'm pretty sure
and pissing at the same time, dude.
I'm multi-talented. What do you want me to say?
You're multi-talented. Okay.
I'm multi-talented.
So, we went to Top Golf. That was the one part that I probably could have done without because have you ever been to Top Golf?
No, I keep wanting to go though.
Okay. Bruce, you ever been to Top Golf?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so what it is basically it's just a big driving range where they serve food and drinks. Yeah. But usually you have to wait like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get a bay because it's so busy all the time. So I thought it would be a good idea to reserve a bay for the time I wanted to go. But they charge you $250 to reserve the bay, and then they require you to spend at least $450 on food and drinks.
Oh, shit.
So we were already into it for $700, and there was only 5 guys there.
Okay, so on a side note to that, when we were planning Dean's kidnapping bachelor party last summer, to rent the cabana at the topless pool at the strip club, it was only $800, and that came with $400 worth of food and booze.
There you go. See, it was been the same thing, except no.
So the moral of the story is, did you go to a strip club?
Okay, can I continue my story? Because you're like,
I don't mean to get ahead of myself.
You're like
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ahead right now. You're 3 ahead.
You're bored at Top Golf. Go.
No, I wasn't bored because I drank. We were short on the money because we had to come up to the 440, so we ordered a lobster dish. They had like lobster and shrimp. It was like $180, and it was so good because I was really drunk at that point. So because I'd been drinking Crowns, and then I had to have the lobster. So we leave Top Golf. We go back to the hotel to change clothes into more dress clothes for the night. We go to Davidoff of Geneva. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I have not.
When we go up to Vegas next time, we need to go. It was like by far the best part of the whole bachelor party because you get there and all the seating outside overlooks the strip.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little bit higher end. So like they have a humidor that's got a bunch of different cigars. I think the cigar I bought was $29 or $30 or something like that.
Okay.
But everyone got to pick a cigar, and then we all bought drinks, and all we did was just sit and talk. We didn't talk about weddings or anything. We just sat and talked. It was enjoyable. It was really enjoyable.
All right.
Then they decided about 12:30, let's go to a club. So we went to the Aria has a Jewel nightclub. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I'm not big on clubs. I'm a 37-year-old white man.
Well, I think that was about the oldest I felt because everyone in the club was obviously on spring break or something. So everyone was talking to us about how they were on spring break from UCLA and, oh my gosh, I'm graduating this year and I'm thinking about going to get my master's in psychology and, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Well, all the guys I was with, they're all in their like late 20s, early 30s. So, they were talking to the girls, and I felt like the old man. Like I was so out of place that.
No. Well, generally though.
So I just drank and.
Generally though, in that world though, you are the life of the party. So it's nice to take a step back and just let the boys be boys.
Yeah, and that's what happened. But we didn't get home till 3:30.
Nice.
So at what point though did you get to the strip club?
We never went. We never got.
So why'd
there.
you tell me that I was 3 steps ahead when I asked him at the strip club? I
really thought
I got invested in the story, thinking you were going to have a great ending, and there was no happy
I do have a great ending. It was a fun time.
All right,
I had a good time.
As long as everyone had fun.
What mature men do.
All right.
It's not. I don't know if a 37-year-old should be looking at boobies anyways.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's really.
I might go blind. You're right, Bruce. Did you have a bachelor party?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, it kind of. So, yeah, it was complicated. We started out at a buddy's house in Vegas, of course, playing cards, a few drinks.
Well, that sounds familiar. Okay.
Did you play a game of Jenga that had requests?
No Clue. We didn't break out Clue.
Okay.
Hey, fuck cards. You assholes. See, this is why, Bruce, you should probably just not do a podcast with us. Because then I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to scream at you. Just like I do Scotty.
Oh, he dropped Clue. That's awesome.
I didn't. We played cards just like you did. We played cards just like you did. Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. So you drank, you played cards. Did you go out? Did you go to a strip club? Did you?
Yeah, we ended up at like a Brazilian steakhouse, from what I remember, and then we ended up at the Hard Rock, and then it got funny, and then then we ended up at a strip club, and I made it home. I remember that. That was good. I made it. I was staying at a buddy's house.
You stayed at a buddy's house. Okay.
See, we have Sammy and Taylor's wedding next month down in Florence, and Ricky last night. Were you on that group text that Ricky sent last night about Sammy's bachelor party?
Yeah, I was working, so I wasn't able to answer.
Well, for our listeners out there, our buddy Sammy and his fiancée Taylor are getting married next month, and they weren't going to have a bachelor party because Sammy was supposed to be in the police academy. Well, he got hurt, so he has more time now while he's recovering. So we're about 6 weeks out from the wedding, and he's not in the academy. So we're trying to put together a last-second bachelor party. And one of the questions asked on this text stream was, will this be a Jason Edgeworth bachelor party, or will we see the real wild Vegas like we want to see?
Okay, I'd like to put out there, because I don't know about you, Bruce. Vegas is a really expensive place to go party.
Oh yeah,
it is. And don't get me wrong, I don't disagree.
It's a very expensive, I mean, it was which now that I'm thinking about it wasn't too much, but it was $250 a person.
Oh yeah,
to do what we did, and that didn't count if someone bought a round of drinks. Like I bought a round, some other guys bought a round. So I mean, I was probably into the weekend for $600.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good time. I'm done busting your balls about it, man. I just want to.
No, I mean, I think here's the thing: is I don't really know. Every guy's different. Like, I'm sure that some guys, their women wouldn't care if they went to a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the guys, his wife said, "Well, why aren't you guys going to a strip club? We'll come with you guys to strip." Like she was like totally game for it.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel comfortable putting Adam, the Bachelor, in a position where he might have to explain. Oh yeah, I just didn't want to do.
You did the right thing, Jason.
No, I mean, you wingman up. I respect that. I do respect that.
Believe me, and my thought was this: is that because after the cigar bar, like I said, it was about 11:30, and it did cross my mind that maybe going to Spearmint Rhino or going somewhere might happen, but then the other thing is I didn't want to pay a cover.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those for so much, and the guys were into it for some. I didn't feel comfortable by saying, "Oh, now we're going to go to a strip bar, and who knows how much we're going to spend here."
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, I think maybe in this podcast before we hang up, maybe we can talk about what do you plan for bachelor parties nowadays? Like, what would be something that you would plan?
I think it's different for everybody because everyone's got different tastes in what they like to do. Like, I'd like to think that if my brother ever gets married, I might get to be the best man, mostly by default because I'm his brother, if he wants to claim me for this. And I've met his friends, and if he wants to have a good bachelor party, it's me or bust, man. Or we're going to be sitting around drinking, Jack and Coke, and not even playing cards. We're playing some weird online game.
You'd probably be playing Jenga.
We'd probably be playing Jenga, but without the weird things. We might have Bruce's game of Clue. I mean, that's where it comes down to. So I think you have to know your audience. It's like anything else. You have to know your audience, and if you have to do some damage control with some of the attendees, significant others beforehand, hey man, you do what you got to do. But it's your job, and I think you did this job. You have to make sure the groom to be has the experience that he wants to experience. So you can look back one day and say, you know what, that's pretty fucking cool.
Well, and the problem with Adam was his big thing was, I don't care. I just want to hang out with the guys. That's all I want to do. And Adam's the type of guy who we've done this before. One time, one of the guys that came with us, and Adam and they came down to Kingman when Noreen was seeing her parents or doing something where she wasn't going to be in town. Mm-hmm. And the whole weekend, we sat at the kitchen table, played cards, and drank whiskey. And that's all we did.
That's perfect.
You know what I mean? So I think maybe it also depends on the guy, too. Like Pemberton, he's going to be really simple. You put him in front of a pair of breasts all night long, and he'll be totally fine.
Yeah, that is. Well, for the record, though, it was our former intern, JP, that was asking what kind of bachelor party Sammy's was going to be if we're going to make this happen. So we do want to make sure we include everybody.
The worry I have about Vegas, and Bruce, when you did yours, did they pay for you all together? And so it was just, or were you on your own to buy your own stuff?
For the most part, yeah, they covered me, which was cool. But
that's good. Okay.
Comes into like kind of what you were saying, like you got outs to entertain, right? You got the Bachelor, who usually just wants to hang out with the guys because he's about to become on lockdown. Nothing too exciting, just hang out with everybody. And then you've got the buddies who are there flying in for the party. You know,
I get it. So, and Bruce is right. What you're dealing with, you're trying to entertain the Bachelor, his buddy. It's a lot of balls in the air, and it's hard. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do. So you have to make sure that the focal point of that weekend is the actual Bachelor. So those guys have to come in with the mentality that we're going to do what he wants to do. We just got to suck it up, man.
Well, but I mean, I guess my thing is that I did have a good time with the guys. I mean, I really enjoyed the time we spent together. I wouldn't have done Topgolf that way. I probably would have just said, let's just put our name on a list and just come back at a certain time or do something else. I definitely would have done the cigar bar again. You know what I really wish I had money for is I didn't necessarily want to do a strip show, but I was thinking, you know how they have those high-end like burlesque shows where the girls are naked but they're dancing with the like and stuff. I thought maybe that wouldn't be too bad and that the wives and girlfriends wouldn't be too offended by something like that. But
always thinking on the fly. Good for you, buddy.
I don't know.
Good idea.
I don't know. Now I think people need to write into the show and tell me what they really think, because I have a feeling that most of the people said, "Oh, you're a puss. Why don't you go play games and go, suck a thumb?" And
well, I do want to point this out that most of our regular listeners are ladies. So, ladies, tell us what you would do on your bachelorette parties. Or
my gosh! Well, that's the other part. Okay, so you talk about a different. Did Bruce? Did your wife have a bachelorette party?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Or she's just not telling at this point, just thinking she got away with it.
Yeah. This is going to raise a question when I get off of here.
So the Bachelorettes, they did it. So first of all, everything was color coordinated. All the girls had to wear black, and the Bachelorette had to wear white. So that was the first thing. Then they coordinated a painting party where they basically had a bunch of liquor and in the other suite that we rented, and a paint lady came in with canvases and let them drink and paint.
Yeah, riveting.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on.
But you know what the bad part was is that they had like decorations, and they had like had her in like a certain shirt or something. They had like a sash for her, and I thought, man, women and men look at bachelorette parties totally different.
Jason, I can promise you, from the bottom of my heart, as your co-host, if I'm ever in your groomsmen party when you and Noreen decide to tie the knot ever, I will make you wear that sash and tiara just like Brittany had to wear over the weekend.
No,
and we will bring people in to paint and drink liquor and play cards.
No, we will never do that. Bruce, take care of my bachelor party. Have you ever planned a bachelor party, Scotty?
No.
Except the one we were going to try to do for Dean.
Yeah. For those that Well, I guess we didn't talk about it last year. Our buddy Dean got married last year to his longtime girlfriend Danielle, and we were trying to put together a kidnapping bachelor party. We had it worked out to where we were going to roll into his office on a Friday afternoon. We had the panel van, ski masks, water guns with tequila in it. We were going to take him to Vegas for the weekend and take him out on Friday night. We were going to reserve a cabana at one of the strip club day pools and enjoy Friday night and invite all the wives and girlfriends up Saturday night for a bigger party. But and we kept this all under wraps, which is really cool because it was a fairly large group. There's about 10 of us, and for no one to say a word and get Danielle in on this, because she had to have a go bag for Dean packed ready to go, so we could just pick it up on the way out of town. It was pretty impressive.
I like the way you're thinking now. See, I would be game for that. I wonder how Noreen would handle me going to. She may not mind, I guess.
But either way, Dean couldn't go that. With the weekend we had it figured out, Dean couldn't go because he had to work. And the look on his face, I'll never forget. When we told him what we had planned, he was so disappointed because for the longest time he had said, I can't, skip work. I can't skip work. And when we told him what we had planned, it was, I totally could have skipped work for that. Next time, don't let me not skip work.
Oh, dude, that sounds so much fun.
Oh, God, it would have been a great time. It would have been a fun time, but you know what? Someone's got to get married at some point, so maybe we'll still be able to pull it off. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But I just want to circle back to last week's conversation about Back to the Future before we end today's show. Just one last thought. What I was confirming with Bruce today about being on the show, he sent me his thoughts on Back to the Future, on the trilogy, and what he thought was the best one. Bruce, I'll give
Which
you
is
the
number
floor.
one, right? Number one.
Absolutely not. Number two. And all I'm going to say, hoverboards.
Yeah, but they promised us hoverboards by what, 2013?
Doesn't matter. We're all still excited that there's a chance that a hoverboard could be out someday.
All right, I'll give him that. I still think 3's the best.
The rumors that went through the schools, 2 dominated.
Nah, I don't know, man. They did have the cool sunglasses you can get when you got the Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, there were some cool parts to that movie. I just remember, what are you, chicken?
Oh,
Got all pissed. He went crazy. That was funny. It was very funny.
Oh, on that note, hey, if you want to hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, all at Liquid Kernedge. If you want to talk to Tom, our executive producer, it's Liquid_EP on Instagram now, and as well as Twitter. Check out his Twitter page, and you can see his weekly notes of the show. And he always has a really cool Star Trek GIF. In his mind, it's cool, but we're going to say it's cool today. We want to thank our guest, Bruce, for being on the show. Bruce, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here.
Anytime you want to pop on the show just to bullshit with us, man, the offer is open. Just shoot us a text. We'll make it happen.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot us a text because while we're recording, people can get on anytime. So that'll be fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Man, why don't you take us home, Jason?
All right. Well, thanks to our special guest, Bruce, for being on the show. We look forward to working with you on your podcast because it sounds like you have a great idea, great concept. So I'm excited about that. Obviously, go to our Twitter sites on @Liquid Kernedge on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Go to @Liquid_EP if you want to see Tom on Instagram and Twitter. That was Scott. My name is Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.